January 28, 2019 Village Board meeting to order. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Trustee Kwasniewski.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
This evening, we'll be starting with Trustee Kwasniewski.
Here.
Maher absent. McClafferty.
Here.
Snigowski.
Here.
Stapleton absent. Blatzer. Here.
Okay, great. Obviously, inclement weather is affecting a couple of our trustees. They'll be on their way, I'm sure. Next up, the consent agenda. Approval of minutes, December 17th, 2018, special village board meeting minutes. December 17th, 2018, village board cow meeting minutes. January 8th, village board meeting minutes. January 8th, cow meeting minutes. And January 14th, village board cow meeting minutes. I guess that would be just a village board meeting, not a cow. In addition, approval of disbursements, also an ordinance amending Lamont Municipal Code, Chapter 5.04, Section 5.04.080, alcoholic beverages. We'll be increasing the number of Class C1 liquor licenses. Need a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Blatzer, seconded by Trustee Kwasniewski. Rick?
I've got a comment. I need to be added to the roll call on both the 17th meetings and the January 8th. I was missed on the roll call. I was at both of those meetings, so.
Okay,
just,
I'm sorry, what dates again? The
the
17th?
17th, both of those.
Okay.
And the 8th, both of those. I was picked up on the 14th, but I was at all the meetings, so it's kind of important
Okay.
to me right now,
And
so.
what was the third
I
one?
want to
You
make
were-
sure that you know I was here.
Okay, so you were here at both of the 17th meetings and
Yes,
And
I
the
was missed
8th
on a roll call. I might
the
even been
8th
picked
cow
up
or
in the
the
minutes, but
8th really, or both?
both of them.
Both, okay.
All of them.
I don't know how that.
I don't know either,
This
but,
year, because it's always all of them, you know?
right.
Okay, so
Okay.
we'll amend that. Any other
We will amend
changes or comments?
What's the class, what class liquor license?
C1, that is actually it's a exciting new business coming into town. We just met with them. The name of the venture, if I have it correctly here, is Lamont. It's going to be called the Lamont Valley Market. And again, this is going to be, the proposed site is going to be in the loft buildings. It's going to be the far, I guess that'd be the far southeast corner, correct? It's going to be involving carry-out, mainly Macedonian and European foods as well as liquor. So again, exciting new business coming into town, and we're hoping to get that started in early spring.
Mayor, I did have one other question on the, it shows up on the pay register. It's not about the register itself, but I'd just like to see if we can get some input. Donna Gell, we paid $410 under the engineering, I think it is. What's he been doing? Anybody got anything on that? What? Okay, but I mean, it's something under the plan review or something like that, so. Related to Lilly Brothers. That's good, I'm glad, but I'm just wondering what. So if maybe next meeting we could find out what's happening there. You know, I have a concern there with his time schedule.
Got it.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Rick. Any other comments? Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have can we have a roll call, please?
Oh, okay.
I guess we've already had a motion.
Yes, we
right?
did. Kwasniewski,
Yes.
Maher absent. McClafferty,
Yes.
Snigowski.
Yes.
Stapleton,
Yes.
Okay, all right, motion passes.
Blatzer.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
All right. Okay, motion passes. All right, next up, Mayor's report. got a couple of announcements and comments. We'd like to thank our Public Works Department, Ralph, and all their hard work. And it's only going to get better, we heard, with the snow, right, Ralph? Awesome. You guys are doing an awesome job in keeping the streets cleared and clean this past week, as well as this morning. I'm sure several of the guys have not slept in probably a good day or so. So we also like to thank our residents and businesses and building owners for taking care of the snow as far as the sidewalks and around the fire hydrants and in front of their businesses. With the extreme cold risk on Tuesday night and Wednesday, please take extra precautions. If you must go out, please limit outdoor exposure for both you as well as your pets. We do have shelters available. On Wednesday, it's going to be at the Lamont Township office on Warner and the Village Hall during normal business hours. If you need assistance after hours, please feel free to call the police department's non-emergency phone number. Chief, I have it as 630-257-2226. And of course, if it is an emergency, please do not hesitate to dial 911. Also, another announcement, we just heard that Waste Management will not be picking up on scheduled Wednesday garbage pickups. They will be picking up on Thursday. So treat Wednesday similar to a holiday. They will not be there. Please spread this to your neighbors. We'll try and get this out on social media as well. So scheduled Wednesday pickups will occur on Thursday. Also, Friday, February 1st, Lamont Park District will be hosting the annual Daddy-Daughter Date Night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. at the Core. There will be a catered dinner, DJ with dancing, fun, crafts, photos, and fresh flowers. Please register in advance at lamontparkdistrict.org. Also, Saturday, February 2nd, the Lamont Park District will be hosting a preschool and early childhood open house at Centennial Community Center from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Parents and children are encouraged to attend and learn about preschool programs, early childhood programs, as well as their Preschool Plus and preschool enrichment programs. Also, Monday, February 11th, Hope and Friendship Foundation is hosting the PPP Nights. PPP stands for Pizza, Pop, and Pondering Nights from 6 to 7:30 p.m. This will take place at Higher Grounds Coffee Shop in downtown Lamont. All middle and high schoolers are invited. For more information, please visit hopeandfriendshipfoundation.com. Also, the State of Village address will be held on Thursday, March 14th at the Crystal Grand Banquet Ballroom from 4 to 6 p.m. You can register at 10 at the Chamber's website, which is lamontchamber.com. Also on Saturday, March 9th, it is our annual St. Patrick's Day Parade in downtown Lamont at 1 p.m. We are currently seeking nominations for Queen of the 28th Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. Nomination letters need to be submitted by February 1st at the Village Hall. Also, we're working on making things a little bit more festive, potentially closing off Canal Street, getting the businesses more involved, maybe some tents, but stay tuned on that. Also, registration is open for the Quarryman Challenge, both the 10-mile as well as the 5K on May 11th. You can register at thequarrymanchallenge.com. Lastly, referendum update. Again, the village newsletter was sent out a week before last. Is that correct, George? So everyone should have received their newsletter. Please, I encourage you to check that out. In that newsletter, we comment on the referendum we just had regarding home rule. Obviously, the home rule referendum did not pass. Again, we thank everyone for their participation and the phenomenal turnout for the vote. Obviously, we had a big governor election going on as well as other elections. So again, appreciate everyone's comment. as far as what we've had at open meetings and as far as the open houses we had. We had great feedback. It did not pass. Next up, we've talked before openly about our next referendum, which is going to be a sales tax 1%. Again, we continue to have a 1% shortfall in our budget. This budget shortfall is being basically closed by not doing capital projects. We cannot continue to do that. So the next step is the sales tax. Again, the home rule would have only put approximately, 50% of the burden? Probably a little bit less than 30 to 40% of the burden on the residents of Lamont. That did not pass. The next referendum, the 1% sales tax, will put approximately 50 to 60% of the burden on the residents. This referendum is going to take place at our next election on April 2nd. If we are unable to pass that referendum, we do have other options. Please, again, check out the newsletter. Those other options include potentially raising significantly our water rates as well as our vehicle sticker, making a biannual vehicle sticker into an annual event, as well as increasing that. I mean, those are the options we have. We could always increase property taxes. We could increase more debt. The last two items are not really what it makes sense as far as being, prudent with our dollars. But again, we will have more to come on this. We will have more open houses on this. We encourage people to give us your feedback, like you did with the home rule referendum. So again, looking forward to getting everyone out at these open houses, as well as again, we encourage everyone to get out on April 2nd to vote. With that being said, next up, we have audience participation. We have a limited crowd, obviously, due to the inclement weather. Do we have anyone in the audience? Okay. All right. So moving on, the clerk's report.
Thank you. I attended the Municipal Clerks of Illinois Winter Conference on January 17th and 18th, and I usually tell you how good the classes were, and they were, as usual. But the most exciting thing was when one of the clerks on our break time between sessions 1 and 2 in the morning, she decided to move her car up closer to the building, and she certainly did, right through the building and into the lobby, right on the other side of the wall where an attorney was speaking. And at the end of, he just kept talking, but
Was her
at
name
the end of
Charlene?
his, at the
It wasn't
end,
you,
no,
right,
no,
Charlie?
no, it wasn't. At the end, he did make reference that it was the most memorable speech he'd given in a long time. But anyway, so that's really the most exciting thing that happened at that one. The first ordinance this evening will be ordinance O-02-19, and that's amending the zoning map of the Village of Lamont from R2 Single Family Detached Residential to INT Institutional District at 10915 Lamont Road in Lamont, Illinois, the Hindu Temple.
Okay, need a motion.
So move.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Stapleton, seconded by trustee Snagowski. Jason?
Thank you. This request aligns with the village's comprehensive plan and future land use map to bring institutional uses into our institutional zoning. We're approached by Hindu Temple for this change. It was heard at the December PZC meeting where it was recommended, and heard at the January Committee of the Whole. Staff recommends approval.
And Jason, we've talked about this at our last COW meeting. Can you just clarify, because sometimes the word institutional has somewhat of a negative connotation and people can interpret it differently. Can you just
we use this
define that?
broadly for not-for-profit uses such as churches, schools. So this allows the use to continue on as a conforming use and allows them to grow if needed.
And again, this obviously fits more to what this type of, business or church should fill. Okay, any other questions or comments regarding this? Okay, roll call, please.
Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Maher absent. McClafferty.
Yes.
Snagowski.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Blatzer.
yes,
Okay, motion approved.
The next item, if passed this evening, would be O-03-19, and this is amending Title 17 of the Lamont Municipal Code, the Lamont Unified Development Ordinance, the UDO, of 2008.
Okay, need a motion.
so moved,
Second?
Okay, motion by trustee Blatzer, seconded by trustee McClafferty. Jason?
This is a simple amendment as required by FEMA. We need to keep our references to floodplain maps up to date, so this amends it to be in line with the current maps.
Thank you, Jason. Any other questions or comments?
One question about the maps. I read something in there that said where if there are multiple maps, the map that is the most restrictive is the one that you follow?
That's correct. Yeah, we have maps for Cook County, Will, and DuPage.
Okay.
Great, thanks, Ron. Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Maher absent. McClafferty.
Yes.
Snagowski.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Blatzer.
yes,
Okay, motion approved.
The next item, if passed, is a resolution, and that would be R-06-19, and that's accepting the public improvements and releasing the letter of credit for Briarcliff Townhome subdivisions, that's Briarcliff Estates.
Okay, need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Snagowski, seconded by trustee Kwasniewski. Jason, again.
These improvements were completed some time ago, but due to staff changes in my homes, we didn't officially get to the resolution accepting them. So at this point, we are asking to accept the resolution and release the letter of credit for going the 2-year maintenance period.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Maher absent. McClafferty.
Yes.
Snagowski.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Blatzer.
yes,
Okay, motion approved.
The next item, if passed this evening, would be Resolution R-07-19, and that's authorizing entering into a labor agreement.
Okay, need a motion.
So moved?
Second?
Okay, motion by trustee McClafferty, seconded by trustee Snagowski. George?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The collective bargaining agreement for the Lamont patrol officers represented by Metropolitan Alliance of Police, chapter number 39, expired on April 30th of 2018. Village administration has been in negotiation with the bargaining team for the labor unit during the last several months, and has reached a tentative agreement with the union. These negotiations are always difficult, especially when the village is going through some difficult financial times. I will say that we approach the bargaining sessions with the goal of ensuring labor stability, but also keeping a wage increase that's modest within the standard CPI of the last 12 months, but also ensuring some long-term stability in our financial accounts by elongating the pay plan. We're able to add 2 steps to the plan, so we were able to accomplish those 2 goals. The agreement calls for the following wage increases to take effect for the current fiscal year. It would be 2.0%, May 1st of 2019. Effective would be 2.25, and fiscal year 21 would be 2.5%. Besides the salary adjustments, one of the changes, as I mentioned, was the increase of 2 steps, or addition of 2 steps within the pay range, with the goal of longer-term financial stability. When the village is able to hire again, it'll take officers a couple more years to get through the pay plan, and hopefully we were able to spread out the financial burden over time. And this, along with below market increases, was in exchange for longevity stipend and also some changes in solidifying to the work hours to ensure that that's in the contract moving forward, the 2184 work schedule. Other than the changes I mentioned, a lot of minor language adjustments that really aren't material. And this contract is just for the patrol union only. The sergeants union is also expired, and we're in the process of negotiating that contract. Real quick, I'll go through some of the just the highlights and the pros and cons, along with alternatives as part of this agreement. The proposed wage increases we mentioned is modest and below the consumer price index for the last 12 months in the Chicagoland area. The salaries and the benefits will continue to be within the average of our comparable communities. The village, on the positive side as well, was able to keep favorable language in the contract in terms of health insurance offerings, where they will follow the non-union staff on contributions and health insurance offerings. And basically having a contract in place allows us to predict our costs going forward, which will help out with the budgeting in the coming years. And lastly, just avoiding a longer term contract negotiation, arbitration, mediation is expensive. Attorney costs, staff time. So it's really a good opportunity for us to move forward with our patrol union, and I want to thank those guys for negotiating this in good faith and just moving forward and get this contract approved so we can get that on the books and move forward together. Thank you.
Thanks, George. And first and foremost, I'd like to commend, our police force. They do an excellent job, a phenomenal job. We have one of the safest communities in the state of Illinois. Chief, I'd like to commend your efforts as well. You and your staff do an excellent job. We've gone through some major cuts this year. The police force has gone through some major cuts, and you guys have done a very good job in dealing with that. Obviously, this is probably not something that has occurred, outside of a major, burst in the bubble of the economy. This has not occurred. So again, I commend what you guys have done. And with that being said, though, a common resident would say, okay, if we're struggling right now with $1 million budget, why would we be giving any raises at all? And right now, the raises are at 2.25, and 2.5%. Again, these raises are significantly below what market is. In a union negotiation, it is either all or nothing. The union presents one side, we present another. So again, we have to be able to also have a market type of increase in order to, keep our staff, and also, hopefully down the road, when we do have the ability to increase staff as our population grows, we have to be able to recruit quality staff. So again, these raises are below what is going on right now. And again, when these negotiations happen, it's usually either one side or the other. There's no splitting the baby. So again, we commend the bargaining on behalf of the police force. It was done in good faith, and we want to recognize that. The bottom line is that we have a shortfall in our pension liability. This shortfall has nothing to do really with these raises. We have a shortfall of what, $7.5 million, right, Chris? We have a $25 million number that we should have in our bank accounts or our investment accounts to fund these police pensions. We only have $17.5 million. We're short by $7.5 million. We're at 70%. That is lights out. And when you compare it to Cook County and potentially other teacher unions, but it's still $7.5 million under. And from a comparison to other municipalities, if you take away Cook County and Chicago, we're actually below average. So that's $7.5 million. That is not in our accounts earning interest. Because that's not there, each year our pension contribution has to go up. And it's going up approximately, what, Chris, 80 to 100,000 plus a year. We're going to get those numbers. We actually worked with the actuary for the pension board. And, instead of just giving us year one, we want to know year 2 through year 20, the next 20 years. And we want to know, okay, if we're not hitting 7%, if we hit 6%, what are those pension obligations? Because if we continue to go up 100 or 150,000 a year, we have to come up with that through revenues or additional, headcount reduction. So again, this This is a very significant issue that we're trying to address, and we've done it through headcount reductions. We've pretty much have reached a breaking point with our reductions. So again, we appreciate, the negotiations in good faith. We continue to try and we will always make ends meet. At the board level, we have to balance our budget, unlike the state or the federal government. We balance it, and we're paying down debt. So again, I think this is a great contract. Again, we appreciate everything you guys do. We look forward to, again, working with each other, on the sergeant side as well. So with that being said, a little long-winded, but anyone else have any comments or questions? Okay. With that being said, roll call, please.
Kwasniewski,
Yes.
Maher. Yes. McClafferty.
Yes.
Snagowski.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Blatzer.
Okay, motion approved.
The next resolution, if passed, would be R08-19, and this is approving a management agreement with the sell at auction.
Okay, need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, motion by trustee Kwasniewski, seconded by trustee McClafferty. Chris?
Thank you, Mayor. This is a management agreement for sell at auction to basically try to market our water tower on State Street. You have approved 2 contracts on Houston for Sprint and T-Mobile. However, the one on State Street, we no longer have any types of leases out there. So Sell at Auction will market that and present to us when they have a vendor present to us a lease agreement. And then at that time, we can take the lease agreement, which we have right now, we have lease agreements, or they would also, after they receive a lease agreement and we accept it, they would actually go out there and sell that lease, and then we would sell the rights to that lease. But this company has been very successful in other towns. He was gonna present here, but he's in the north suburbs, so he is kind of snowed in right now. So, but once he has a vendor for us, before the board, because this will be a lease with the board, with the Village of Lamont, he will present to you the options that we have. So he will be coming before us.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Any other questions or comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Kwasniewski,
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Snagowski.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Blatzer.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
The next item on the agenda, if passed, would be Resolution R-09-19, and this is work performed on state highways pursuant to Illinois Department of Transportation rules and regulations.
Okay, need a motion.
So moved.
Okay, motion by trustee Blatzer, seconded by trustee Snagowski. Ralph?
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution that IDOT requires annually for the Village of Lamont to maintain its utilities on IDOT's right-of-ways. We have utilities on portions of Main Street, McCarthy Road, Archer Avenue, State Street, and New Avenue, which are all IDOT highways. So it just allows us to do the work without the permitting process. So staff recommendation is to approve the resolution.
Okay, great, thanks, Ralph. Any other comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Kwasniewski,
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Snagowski.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Blatzer.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved,
I
thank
think that's
you.
all I had this evening.
Awesome. Okay, next up, Village Administrator Report. George?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One quick item, just wanted to make mention, a few different dates on the calendar, board meeting and other dates regarding the budget. We talked about the referendum and the $1 million hole the village is facing. We've already gone through a couple different rounds of budget discussions with our departments. Departments have done a great job operationally. Also, the capital side, we're essentially seeing essentially a 0% increase when you average it all out, right, Chris? And so we've already been through capital last month. February 25th, at the Committee of the Whole, there will be 2 meetings that night. It'll be a village board, and then right after, we'll have a Committee of the Whole meeting, which we will go through the entire budget. So plenty of opportunities for the public to get involved, understand the budget. In March, we will have 2 dates of public hearings where you can comment on the budget, make recommendations, questions. So those 2 Hearings will be scheduled for March 11th and March 25th. And then in April, we'll go through, put it all together, and approve the budget. So a lot of hard work's already gone into it, but we do encourage public input. We've put together a web page for financial transparency. You can look at our budget. We've subscribed to a tool called ClearGov where you can play around. You can match the village up with other communities. You can look at it into kind of a there's charts out there. There's ways to kind of look at the data. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for the public to understand sometimes what could be complex, fun budgeting. So what we're doing is just trying to get the word out. Please come to those meetings on February 25th at the Committee of the Whole. You can come and get involved and make comment, and then 2 times in March. So,
Okay,
thank
thanks,
you.
George. Okay, next up, board reports. Anyone? All right, staff reports. Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to bring attention to the folks about a new scam that's been out there. It's a Social Security scam. It's where they claim your Social Security number has been suspended because of suspicious activity, and they're calling folks at home. And sometimes the scammer wants to confirm your Social Security number to reactivate it, and other times they say your bank account is about to be seized and offer to assist in fraud prevention. Here's what you need to know is your Social Security number cannot be suspended. You don't have to verify your number to anyone who calls, and your bank accounts are never seized in that manner. Social Security will never call to threaten your benefits or tell you to wire money, and the big sign is to send money or gift cards. That's a sure sign of a scam every time. So the rule of thumb is never give any part of your Social Security number to anyone who contacts you by telephone. If you get one of these calls, you can report it to the FTC at ftc.gov/complaint, and that information is on our website with some additional identity theft tips. To give you an example of the magnitude, in 2017 there were reports of 3,200 people being victimized in this scam, and they lost about $210,000. In 2018 it was 35,000 people, and they lost over $10 million.
Wow. All right, thanks, Chief. Ralph, you have anything?
I do. With the snowfall over the weekend and today, we will be doing the odd-even restrictions for plowing starting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Tomorrow is the 29th, so we ask our residents to park on the odd side of the street, and we will plow the even side, and vice versa on Wednesday. Also, we've noticed an increase actually of our residents throwing the snow into the street. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, you're paying to have the snow removed from the street. Don't throw it back. It just makes more work for us, and you have to run over ice for days. So just don't throw it in the street and pay attention to the parking restrictions, and we'll be okay.
Thanks, Ralph. Get some sleep.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, next up, any new or unfinished business? All right, no executive session, correct? Correct. Okay, need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, motion by trustee Blatzer, seconded by trustee Stapleton. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Okay, motion approved. Meeting is ended.